just wrapped up filming and I'm backing up the files, but a few interesting things happened. One, I had 3 cameras that I wanted to film with, and one of them decided not to work. Literally, when I started filming, I didn't know that it had the issue, but apparently, when it starts recording, it just stops like a few seconds after recording. The reason why I mentioned that is because there's this idea that what you focus on grows, and I think this is a perfect example of that. When the camera stopped recording and I realized that it had an issue, it was like automatically stopping recording before I even like start talking. I had 2 choices. I could either talk to the client about it. The client, why do I keep calling him a client? He's technically a client, but my guest, the podcast guest, I could either mention to him about it, which would have one communicated that something is wrong, maybe led him to panic, and maybe my energy would also rub off of him and I panic. We both panic. I guess I don't know who's leading to who panicking, but in any case, it would have led to, being anxious and, maybe this is not going to work out the same way we expected. It wouldn't have helped in any way. I just need to, it wouldn't have helped in any way. Like I wouldn't have gotten anything out of it except getting him to, think that something is wrong, and then I don't know, maybe that leading to some awkwardness and him maybe not thinking, because I just met the guy, right? This is my first time. I mean, I spoke to him on the phone before, but we really hadn't like spent any time. And if this was a person that I've known for a while, I probably would have mentioned it, right? Because they know me, they know how I'm like, and maybe my capabilities and everything. But I did not want, the last thing that I want is giving off the vibe that I don't know what I'm doing, right? When you just meet a person, and filming is a pretty personal thing. He's going to share his story with me, and I want him to be, I want the conditions, the environment to be as comfortable as possible. They're already not comfortable having 3 cameras pointing at him. So because of that, I decided that I was going to not tell him that something was wrong with the camera that was there. And I just continued operating as if everything was okay. And something that I didn't tell him as well, because I also didn't want to create the conditions that makes him feel uncomfortable, is that the cameras that I was using Sony A7 III and Sony something, stop recording every 30 minutes. I know, it's so annoying. If you've used the cameras before, you know how annoying that is. I'm not going to go into the details of why that is, but it's something connected to taxes. Anyways, the cameras that I was using, they stop at 30 minutes. And it would have been nice to have someone here, right? Because they would have been able to monitor the cameras and start recording the moment they stop. I did have a friend who was willing to come with me, but I thought that it was going to be a little bit, to make the whole process a little bit more complicated. And I decided last night, to come and do it myself, and having, the conversation while at the same time thinking that I was going to stop to, monitor the cameras was, a daunting thing, because I want to be present. I don't want to be thinking about the cameras when he's talking. But at the same time, if I had mentioned that is what I was going to do, I thought that it was going to make him feel uncomfortable. So I just, stopped him and went and checked on the cameras as if, because it's me alone, I'm going to check if the cameras are working.
Everything is good.
He eventually asked me,
Was it not recording?
No, it was recording, but I want Like I just spoke for 4 hours
I know, dude.
for
I'm like,
nothing.
damn.
The way I put it is like, it's not, a big deal. Like I'm just like, I also like was talking to him while I was stepping away and looking at the cameras to keep the conversation going and keep the vibe going. And when I came in, I just picked up where I left off.
Wait, you have to press that again?
I do,
Why?
because it stops every 30 minutes.
Oh, really? How do you know? Do you have a timer?
Nah, I just like
Oh, you
think
know?
of like now that was 25.
Oh, that's impressive.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to. Told you, bro. That's why you do 9 months.
That's crazy.
of doing
man.
it for yourself.
That's impressive.
by yourself. But I have a question there, right? But my point is the people focus on what you focus on. What you focus on grows. Another way to say it is that if you make something a big deal, it will become a big deal. If something is a problem and you don't want that problem to affect how you behave or other people behave, don't make a big deal out of it. Things are going to go wrong when you are doing something for the first time. This is my first interview that I've done on the podcast, not in my life but on the podcast. It feels a little bit different. It feels like I'm entering into something new, a new chapter of the podcast, a new chapter of my life or my business. Things are going to go wrong. Things are going to not go as planned. We were planning to film from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's 7 p.m. now. I'm still here. Because it's a reality that things are not going to go as planned, taking the mindset of not making things a big deal is just so useful, because it keeps the vibe, which is really, really important if you're trying to have a conversation with someone. And my hope is that I made the conditions feel comfortable enough that he can come across as himself. You need to make sure that you don't make things a big deal, even when they're a big deal. Now I can talk to him about it, but it's not useful in the moment to make a big deal about the things that are going wrong, because that leads to panic, that leads to anxiousness, that leads to the vibe dying off, and that's not what I was trying to do. So yeah, I'm really, really stoked. I can't wait to see to go through the footage and see what we were able to capture. But I think the conversation went really well, and I can't wait to have more conversations. It probably was not a good idea to do it myself, to monitor the cameras myself and maybe use the cameras that freaking turn off after 30 minutes. But it's a start, and Serge was such a cool guy, cool vibe. Learned a lot from him. I hope you learned a lot from him. And it was so cool of him to let me have access to the office and record and everything. I'm recording on my phone, so I'm probably looking here when I'm supposed to be looking here. But I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I'm not even sure if I'm going to release this, but if I don't, it will be a reference for me in the future. If I do, it will be, hope it's useful for anybody who's starting something new. Fucking take the chance, man. Things are not going to work out, but also things don't work if you don't work. And if you don't decide to take things to the next level, they are going to stay where they are. It's literally the laws of physics. I'm no physician, but I know that action equals reaction. And you don't get good things out of the project that you're working on, the business that you're starting. It's not going to be successful. It's not going to get to the next level if you don't take the steps to take it to the next level. And this is me trying to do that for this show, for this podcast, for this business. And I hope, come on, I hope that it does that. And I can't wait to build this show into what I envision it to be. Yeah. See ya. Peace. What's going on? If you found that video helpful, you should watch this video. The sun is blocking me, but watch it. Peace.